I recently had a speaking engagement where I spoke to a group of students who were getting their high school diplomas, their GEDs per se, and they were dealing with so much. They were dealing with grief, of family not being there to support them, and just personal things that I was able to step in and say, some kind of way this book will reach the people that it needs to reach. So it's not just reaching widows, but it's reaching a number of people.
Wow. Sounds amazing already, and we're just getting started here. So I'm looking forward to the rest of this conversation. Today, I wanted to really take some time and kind of peel back the layers, if you will, and allow our listeners to glimpse behind the curtain and then let them have a peek behind the story of the book that you've written, From Pain to Victory. I believe that for a lot of our listeners, it's important for them to understand, where's the author coming from? What is it that impacted the author to even write a story like this, to even publish a book along these lines? And so if we can maybe begin there, and what I would like to do, Tonjicake, real quick before I give you the next question here, I would like to kind of share a quick synopsis of the book with our listeners this morning. From Pain to Victory, a personal grief story, is meant to help those who are grieving the loss of a spouse. It details the struggles of grief and loss and gives resources on moving on in your normal. Tonjicake, this book, honestly, it sounds very intimate, but at the same time, it sounds extremely encouraging. What inspired you to tell this story for, like you were saying a while ago, for many people around the world, not just widows, but those who were dealing with some type of grief or loss? What inspired you to share it?
The inspiration behind the story, Dominique, was my loss, was the loss of my husband of 33 and a half years. It was a struggle dealing with this loss because it was a sudden loss, and it sent me almost into a spiral, if I could say. And I know I needed to have some kind of outlet to deal with my grief. So I immediately thought, let me get into some kind of therapy to help me get through this. And my therapist, shout out to Dr. Cynthia Taylor, suggested to me, start to journal, start to write about your pain, start to write about the issues you're dealing with in your grief and the loss of your spouse. And I started to do that. And before I knew it, I had notebooks of things that I shared, with the loss of my husband. And when that happened, I had kind of like a writer's block, even with journaling, like it just stopped. And when I laid down to meditate, God came to me and told me, put your story in the book. There are so many people who need to hear this and who want to hear this and who could benefit from this. And so I did, and I just feel inspired to know that this book has reached so many people, and just to get the positive feedback, that I can share my transparency, and I can share my grief, and I can share the pain that I've gone through. But I can also share that I have gotten to a point in my healing that I'm okay with sharing. And it's a source of healing for me to hear people come back and sit and talk with me and say, I'm grateful for you for being transparent and sharing your personal journey.
That is so amazing. It's so profound to say, because that truly is one of the signs of healing. It's truly one of the signs that a person has either completely healed or they are in the process of healing, is when they're able to share their story, and they're able to share their story in a very constructive way, in a very helpful way. That it's not being shared in a negative sense, that it's all doom and gloom, but they're sharing their story from a place of strength, from a place where they're able to say, yes, I experienced this, yes, it was difficult, but yes, I'm still moving forward. And that's one of the ways that we're able to really tell that a person is either healing, they're on the road to healing, or they have completely healed from a traumatic experience, such as the loss of a loved one, the loss of a spouse in their family. So I think that's really good that